The rule of 70 allows us to estimate the amount of time it's going to take something to double if it has an annual growth rate. Okay, so we can't do this if we are talking about money that's compounding monthly. That doesn't work. But if we are compounding annually or something has an annual growth rate, then we can use the rule of 70 for doubling time. And the rule of 70 says you take 70 divided by P, which is the percent, and that will tell you how many years it will take to approximately double. So, suppose you deposit a salary bonus of $5,000 into a bank, earning 3.5% interest compounded annually. Now, based on the rule of 70, 70 divided by 3.5 tells me that this is going to approximately double in 20 years. So let's use our compound interest formula. How much will it take, or how much money will we have after 20 years? So balance equals principal times 1 plus the interest, 0.035, and it's annually. So we would just divide by 1 and multiply by 1 if we were using the periodic formula. So this is really no different than just taking 5,000 plus 0.035 raised to the 20th power, and that gives me $9,948.94. So, did your money approximately double in 20 years? And the answer I would say is, well, yeah. I mean, you started with 5,000, so to double that, you would want to go to 10,000. So how close is 9,948 to 10,000? Well, you're off by about $50. That's not bad, right? So I would say that, yeah, that's a good estimation. It's not exact, but it's an estimation of how long it will take to double. Now in number 2, suppose your $5,000 earns 7% interest compounded annually. First, let's use the rule of 70 to predict doubling time. Well, 70 divided by the percent gives me 10 years. We are saying that our money will double in approximately 10 years. So, in part B, let's use our compound interest formula to figure out if that's true. So balance is the principal times 1 plus the rate raised to the number of years. Since this is compounded annually, I don't have to divide or multiply by 1. And it gives me an answer, if I plug that in carefully, of $9,835.76. Now, does this give a good approximation? Is my answer. Because, I mean, 9,835 is close to 10,000, but you're $165 off. Like, if you're trying to save money to buy something that costs $10,000, you're $165 off. Like, if I'm only off by $50, I might be able to scrounge that up between like a 20 in a coat pocket and change in my car and in my sofa and, you know, stealing a 10 out of my dad's wallet or something. But $165, I can't come up with that on a whim. So I'm going to say that that's It's close, but it's not great, right? Now, the rule of 70 can also be used for things other than money as long as it has an annual growth rate. So we're going to look at 3 countries that have population annual growth rates. And we're going to see how long is it going to take for their population to double. And you'll notice it doesn't matter what the population is. It's just talking about doubling. So you could be going from 10,000 to 20,000, or you could be going from 10 million to 20 million. It doesn't matter the number. It's all about the doubling. So Liberia's got a growth rate of 4.5%. So if I take 70 divided by 4.5, it's going to take Liberia approximately 15.56 years to double their population. I don't know about you, but I'm expecting to still be alive in 15 years, and therefore, in our lifetime, we are going to see Liberia double their population. And again, I don't know what their population is, and it doesn't matter. It's going to double in about 15 and a half years. That's crazy. Now, Spain has a smaller population growth rate. So 70 divided by 0.07 gives me 1,000 years. So Spain's growth rate is way smaller, so it's going to take a way longer time. None of us are going to live to see Spain double their population. Now, I threw in the U.S., it's not on our sheet, but I looked this up on Google yesterday, and I found that the U.S. has a current population growth rate as of June 1st of 0.77%. So if we take 70 and divide it by 0.77%, we are going to double our population in approximately 90.91 years, so roughly 91 years. Meaning, if you have a baby right now, and your baby lives to be 91, in that baby's lifetime, from the time they're born to the time they die, which is possible, people can totally live to be 91, the population of the U.S. could double. And that's, to me, crazy, because we have 314 million people now, roughly. Can you imagine doubling that? Where are these people going to live? I mean, I guess you could put them in like Montana and Wyoming and those countries that are not as populated, but you know, you go to New York or Chicago or a big city and people are already living on top of each other. So it's just crazy to think of our population doubling in the next 91 years. But you know what? It is what it is. And there's the rule of 70.